Secretary, Minister of Local Government and Public Works. Let me recognize the Deputy Minister, Engineer Kabikira, with us here, Chairman of Pinnacle, Dr. Chiyangwa, and your team, the Chief Directors and the Directors from Minister of Local Government here present. I want to recognize the presence of Member of Parliament for some constituency in Mashonaland West, Dr. Chamu Chiwanza. We recognize you. Let me also recognize members from the financial institution, Stuart Bank is here, TN Asset Management are here. Those are the two that I managed to capture. Those that I haven't, we recognize you. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. This is indeed a great day for us in the built environment. We are all aware of the dictates of the National Development Strategy 1, that this ministry must spearhead, working closely with the private sector, the development of at least 1 million stands by 2025. I am pleased to advise you that yesterday we were at 700,000. As we sit here, with the inclusion of Pinnacle Holdings, we are now sitting at 1 million stands for both single-story housing and development of flats. It's a very welcome development. This is the beginning of 2025. The target was by December 2025. We've hit that target by the beginning of January 2025. And I'm happy that I am even more confident to revise the figures that by the end of 2025, we should be able to reach another 1 million mark, which means we've revised the figures from 1 million by 2025 to 2 million by 2025 in terms of the provision of well-designed, well-constructed, well-planned, which will be well-governed stands and settlements and stands. This is the trajectory that Vision 2030 directs us to do. This is what the President is talking about in his mantra, that Nyika Inova Kwaneve Nevai. There is no other Zimbabwean who is better than the Zimbabweans that are in this room and those that are out there in the country and outside the country. This is the country that we have. This is the country that we must develop. And I want to thank Honorable Chiyangwa and his team and the financial institutions that are here that have heard the call from His Excellency that let's develop our country. The private sector work closely with central government, work closely with the local authorities to develop our country. We are going to witness in a very short space of time the signing of a partnership between Pinnacle Holdings and the Minister of Local Government and Public Works representing central government on the development or provision of developed stands specifically targeting the civil servants as the market. We fully appreciate this. We want to see, the President wants to see every civil servant with at least a stand or with at least a flat or with at least a house. And because the President is saying no place and no one must be left behind. Be that as it may, ladies and gentlemen, the President is not saying let's just focus on civil servants. He is saying let's focus on providing accommodation to every Zimbabwean. So we are going to be witnessing the launching of programs such as the Nyore Nyore program in Manyame, in other provinces. I know that in Chinhoyi, we are going to be launching very soon the development of about 500,000 stands and units in Chinhoyi. The Nyore Nyore program in Manyame has got 250,000 stands plus flats. This is a huge development in the built environment. We are responsible as Minister of Local Government and Public Works for ensuring that we provide well-planned and well-governed settlements. We want also all of us to join His Excellency in kissing goodbye to the existence of land barons in our midst. Let's do away with land barons. Let's not accommodate those that are stealing land from government and selling it to innocent Zimbabweans, duping them of their hard-earned money and causing informal settlements. We are all aware of the informal settlements that are settling almost every city, town, and RDC. We have the responsibility to be regularizing those, but we are not promoting the continued illegal settling of people with the hope or the desire that government will come and regularize. We have already identified areas where we need to regularize, and we will stick to those. Those that are not in that bracket as directed by His Excellency are not going to be regularized. What is going to happen, we can all imagine, we can all guess. I will not discuss it today, but we want to warn land barons to stop selling state land, to stop duping people of their hard-earned money and sell land that is not theirs. We are also urging our local authorities to stop illegal settling of people. We know in the city of Harare we've got areas where people have been illegally settled by councillors and senior local council officials in Belvedere, for instance. There are many other areas. There is the 5,000 housing units which the mayor sometime last year said they need to be demolished. Those 5,000 units were developed, were built with the blessings of the local authority. The department responsible for inspections was inspecting those units. The department responsible for approval of plans for people to be able to build were going through the plans, the submitted plans for approval and approving. So the council has no local standard to come and say these houses were built without their knowledge. They acted in complicity for whatever reasons, but we are saying it happened then, it must not continue to happen. I would also want to thank the members of the media for the publicity that you are now giving to all the issues with respect to the provision of decent accommodation to Zimbabweans, to the provision of decent, well-planned, well-governed settlements for Zimbabweans. Thank Dr. Chiyangwa and his team for the innovation to join government in the development for a built environment. I know we've got a lot of developers that are whom we are working with. We also appreciate their participation. We have a company called Leangate who are doing the Munumtapa Youth Housing Program in Masvingo. We're going to be having some 3,000 stands. In Manyame, near Nyore, they are developing another one with 5,000 stands. And the youth program is going to be done in all our 10 provinces. So I am confidently saying we are revising the figures from 1 million to 2 million because I know what is in store. I know what we are looking at. I know what we are working, and I know the support that we are now getting from our developers in terms of ensuring that by 2030, no Zimbabwean will be left behind in terms of having decent, sustainable, modern and affordable accommodation. I thank you all. Thank you very much.
For the remarks, and I welcome the Deputy Minister and thank everyone who has come, including, I must mention my wife, otherwise no, you must have. She readily presented herself that she will accompany me today for this, occasion. I want to say that we did come up with a plan long time ago, and we had hoped we would implement such in the Harare South area. But the disruption of the land barons you are talking about. So immediately in that period, they would hunt down people's properties and plans and implement them themselves. So by the time you go to your land, if you have had a plan approved by the city council or at the physical planning, they will have already started selling your stands. They will have copies and so forth. So that disrupted our plans, which would have started in 2006, somewhere back there. And we have since said, let us abandon the Harare South and hand it to you, Minister, and then walk to the Manyame side of things and other areas. I'm sure you will address the Harare South at some point. In terms of, there are many people who are settled, more than 100,000 on my properties that need to be obviously regularized. They must pay, because the moment people get used to free land, then even the programs we are embarking upon, which are new ones, they will not even see how serious we are and will interfere with those. So in the new program now, we have 1.2 million. We have given you the look at what we are doing in Manyame, which is the 250,000. We have another million out of few provinces. The big one is the Marsh West province. We own land out of Kariba, Chinoi, Chegutu, somewhere after Fugari, there, Soma be going there. We have quite a number of properties that are going to come up there. Kadoma, and then we leave that province and we will be in Midlands, and then we will move to Mat South, then Mat North, before we go to the other one. But altogether, this year we will give you a total of 1.2 million, because this 250 is now, and before April we'll give you the approved plans for the other million. We have learned throughout Zimbabwe, and we will be able to avail to the NDS1 program as much as that 1.2 million. So that is where we are coming from. And back to you.
Just want Dr. Chiyangwa has raised that regularization does not refer to government coming and confirming that is wrong as being right. Regularization is referring to ensuring that, one, the land that belongs to the state becomes part of the process of title, part of the process of issuance of title deeds. So the beneficiaries, the intended beneficiaries, will pay for the land and pay for the services that are going to be provided by the companies that we are going to employ, or the developers, to do the regularization process. So it has got the land itself, the construction of roads, the construction of water reticulation systems, sewer reticulation systems, and any other services that can be there. Now that we've got the private sector highly motivated to join us, I think the communications companies such as Econet, Net1 will join hands and ensure that they will provide Wi-Fi services as part of the first line services in the development of these new settlements. This is the trajectory that we are going as a country. This is the direction that we must take this country ourselves. And we are not going to entertain new settlements born out of the desire to be regularized by people that are duping people. When we've closed that door, we've learned from previous mistakes, and we are only dealing with Harare South, like he said. We are dealing with parts of Heathcliff, we are dealing with Caledonia, and certain pockets in other cities and towns. But the major problems are in Harare. Harare South will be regularized, Caledonia will be regularized, Heathcliff will be regularized. Epworth, which has been in existence before 1980, will be regularized. But in other areas where these informal settlements are mushrooming, we will not entertain them. I thought I needed to explain this to the media. Thank you.
If it were in the military, your earlier professions, we now want to witness the signing ceremony between Pinnacle and the ministry. And to do that, we are going to invite our legal advisor, sales director, Karen, to facilitate that exercise.